just boiled and made this Banza pasta. Voila. We've now got some butter going in this pan. Gonna add this spinach to it, and then some of this, okay, remember, I am one person. This chili onion crunch from Trader Joe's, I'm so excited. We're gonna do like butter noodles, but with like oniony and little chili. Okay, so then we finish it off with some Parmesan. I'm very excited. Okay, first bite. Ooh, the crispy ones are good. I'm just gonna add more cheese probably, but very happy with it. Yay! All right guys, so today's makeup. I did my eye makeup a little different, so we'll get into that. For the base, Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream number 23. This is actually a pinch too light, you could probably tell. So usually I do mix it with the 25. I was trying to see if I'm light enough, because you know, as we're moving through winter, if I'm light enough to wear it alone, and I'm still not. I also have the Jeffree Star Concealer in 12, which is also lighter than what I usually go for, but it matches exactly, so I use very little of this. I actually apply it onto my hand first and then take a sponge and get a little bit of it on there. Because it's so full coverage, whenever I apply it straight on with the doe foot, it's just way too much concealer. I had showed you this earlier. It's the Guerlain Meteorites. This is the Lunar New Year packaging, and it's in the shade 2 Clair, which I think works pretty much for anyone from kind of like light to medium. And I had mentioned I had bought this before. I did, years and years ago. I have obviously since moved into tons of like Japanese made brushes. Not that that should make a difference. I just think I needed to figure out the kind of brush and how to use it. And you know, you just learn, you grow, etc. So if you are unfamiliar, this is what it looks like. There is green, pink, purple, gold, and like white balls in here, and you just roll your brush around in it, and it's so good. This is absolutely a finishing powder. I don't think it sets my makeup. That's why I say finishing. I'm noticing I'm going in and out of focus. I'm putting the camera on a different setting, and I have to learn to like not move if I am going to use this setting, because it's super focused, but then if I move out of like this exact area, then it goes away. So I've been using the Sonia G brush. This is the Face 1. I had $40 in like a reward credit there. So you know, like when they do their sale around Black Friday, or for every 100 you spend you get 20 back. So I had $40 sitting there, so I wanted to grab this brush because this is always in and out of stock, and I use these two together and it's so pretty. Or I'll use the Sonia G little like kind of like detail brush to do the under eyes and around the nose. This is absolutely, again, a finishing powder. It doesn't really set your makeup per se. You can still see I'm a little glowy here, a little glowy in there, which I just don't mind in the winter, also up here. So I probably would not use this in the summer alone. It would absolutely be a finishing powder. It absolutely does blur. It just kind of buffs and blurs things, and it's so pretty. It's so light, you don't see this powder. So I'm a huge fan of that. This is a newer purchase from Ulta. I had one of those like $125 rewards paired with like a $20 or 20% off. So like, it's like when you buy a whole bunch of stuff and you pay around 20-30 bucks, depending on, you know, how much you've decided to put in your cart. So I've had this in my kind of wish list or favorites for a really long time. It's from Stila, and it's their Twin Cheeks. You have a bronzer and a highlight. So this is bronzer, or bronze matte, and this is kitten shimmer. You get 18 grams of product. That is very, very generous. And I think this might only be like 30 something dollars. So, I mean, this was probably free for me. Here are two swatches. That is the bronzer, it's very cool tone, and that is the shimmer. I tend to use this on the inner corners because it's very subtle, but it's definitely there. This is incredibly cool toned. I have tried to use it as my bronzer, but it really just is a contouring. I have it alone on today. And I did try to warm the rest of my skin up with a blush, but this is absolutely a contour shade. I would recommend this if this is what you're looking for. A not incredibly intense highlight and then just like a contouring shade. Like, this is a true highlighting contouring palette to me, I think. So it's along the jawline. I use it for my nose, my forehead. Like, I obviously don't look particularly bronzy today. So I like it, but it's not, they shouldn't call it bronze matte. It should be a contour highlighting thing. So to warm the cheeks up a little bit, I tried using blush. I really should just stop trying, but I really like this formula. It's the Bareminerals Bounce and Blur in Blurred Buff. I applied just a little bit here and a little bit there, and then I didn't like it, and I felt like it moved my makeup, but I had already powdered a little bit, so it was probably my fault. But I didn't anticipate using blush today, or a cream product for that matter. So that is the blush. I know this is an awkward thing, but the camera's only focusing on my face, so I have to bring my face so close to the swatches, but that's the blush. Okay, I changed the settings. Hopefully this is better. So this is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Glow in the shade Universal. Foundation has come in this packaging. They've released a primer that is in this packaging. This is kind of pearly and I love it. I think out of all the products similar to this, Charlotte Tilbury face filter, flawless face filter, I really like that. That gives it a rather intense glow, but it's a very soft, smooth glow, whereas this is lighter, thinner, easier to mix with foundation, but it's a little more, ever so slightly more harsh, which is not saying much because the Charlotte Tilbury one is incredibly filtering. So I know that NARS has come out with a tinted booster. I'm interested to swatch that. I don't know that I would need to purchase it. This is a lot of product. And then there's the Tarte Glow Wand, which seems like very little product, but tends to seem to claim the same things. So this one I really like. I got it off of Selfridges. I have it down the nose to here, a little bit over here. I may or may not have covered that up already. And then very lightly around my eyes. High points of the cheekbones. This is what it looks like. It's very runny and it blends out really easily. So usually I'll have it sit on my hand for a while before I blend it onto the face because it needs it. Otherwise it just, nothing really shows up, but it's very subtle. But that is what you want sometimes. Like, and it's face and body glow. So this of course on the body would look so good. You could mix it in with something a little darker. Maybe the De Bronzy from Drunk Elephant, but yeah, so you can see this is my skin without it, and with it, it is so natural and beautiful, right? Okay, for the eyes, we have the IT Cosmetics Superhero to do the liner today, and then in the upper waterline is the Milani Supreme Kohl. Love it. So, if you have been looking at the eye makeup the whole time, I think it looks so good on camera. When I was doing this look, you know, like I'm looking in my mirror and I'm like checking it, I'm like, I think I'm doing the right thing. I can't really tell, but there's so many makeup artists on Instagram right now that are so good. And I see this look a lot. I'm not really sure what it's called. I think it's a combination, well, it's like a halo eye, but if your halo eye was on the top lid as well as on the bottom, like a lash line. So basically you do your normal spotlight, you know, you place your shimmer wherever you want, typically in the center. And then you're also just mimicking that same look on the lower lash line. And then you kind of what's the word? You amplify, or like there's a halo effect around your irises, which is really, really pretty. And I really love it because I love smoky eyes. So this just kind of opens up your smoky eye a little bit and I'm in love. So the first item I used was the Charlotte Tilbury Rebel palette. This I picked up, again, off of Selfridges. Anytime I mention Selfridges, it's because it's cheaper on there and that's why I grab it. So these are usually 50 something here and this was only 43, I think, on the Selfridges site. This is all greens. Do you guys remember when I was talking about Charlotte Tilbury products in one of my more recent videos? And I asked you guys if she had reformulated any of her older palettes, and I guess now I know because she hasn't, and now she is slowly releasing or re-releasing quads under the same name with her new formula and possibly with different shades. So when this was released, another one was also released. I really love this. So what I have on the eyes is, this is the spotlight color. So this is on the gold you see in the center lid and on the lower lash line. And then it's just a combination of these just blended all over the place. This is the darkest one. It is dusty, but it is what I use to create some of the depth. Also purchased 2 of the Fenty palettes. I couldn't think of the word for 6 shades. Sextet. I have number 3, which is deep neutrals. Obviously, always go for the deeper tones. And I love the combination of these shades. These are the shades I would typically love to create, love to combine. It's similar to like the Viseart Dark Mattes. It's similar to a lot of palettes that I use often. These are tones I gravitate towards. So I really do like this combination. The other one I grabbed, I'm gonna exchange. I'm gonna either get the peach, probably the peach or cadet, which has, again, the more olive tones. This is the one in rose, and I do like most of the shades in here. I really wouldn't wear that. Everything else I would. And then I thought I would really enjoy this shimmer, but this shimmer is just, it's a glittery mess. I don't like it. Supposedly when you apply it on the lid, it'll look better, but I can't anticipate that happening. And if there's already 2 shades I'm not gonna use in here, I can't really justify keeping this, so I will exchange it. So that's swatches of the Charlotte Tilbury. So beautiful, so beautiful. And then we have the Fenty number 3. I use this shade on the outer crease to create kind of like that cloudy effect. And then this purple was introduced because I felt like this color wasn't giving me enough depth for the look I was trying to create. Like I was really trying to like spotlight my spotlight eye. So that's that. And then this is really pretty. All of the shimmers I have found in the Fenty shadows in this release of all these smaller palettes. It's a very conservative shimmer. Nothing is metallic or foiled, and I can appreciate that. As I get older, I don't want those like super blinding foiled shadows. They don't look good on my eye. I only use them to highlight the center lid, and how many of those shades can you use? Whereas with mattes, I can just, you know, I can do a matte eye with all different colors all the time. Lastly, here are swatches of the rose, which they're pretty, but this is the color that I'm like not understanding. You know what I mean? Like, and I tried doing better swatches, but like, it's like the glitter falls everywhere. It doesn't really yield that much color. So I'm not really sure what is going on here. For example, this shade in the Charlotte Tilbury, it's kind of dusty when you put your brush in there, but you don't lose all that glitter. You might get a little bit of fallout, but it's a combination of the little bit of glitter and the actual color pigment. So this one maintains its integrity way better. So I am so happy about these 2 things. I love these. I've been using this a lot. This is a very hard pressed formula. You will, if you have more, what's the word, dense or a drier, rougher brush, it will give you some kick up. Otherwise, I think if you're using synthetic, you shouldn't get too much kick up. I'm very like impressed with this formula. It's like very different from what is currently on the market, because I think we're now all about kind of soft, creamy, blendable, but hers are definitely drier, and I can appreciate that. So lastly is the lip, the Natasha Denona. I hadn't picked up any of her lipsticks when she introduces I Need a Nude collection. So around, again, Black Friday times, Beautylish was doing, I guess, some sort of discount on the lipstick. So I picked up the shade Charlotte, and this, I think, is one of the lightest shades. This goes, still recovering. One of the most full-on concealer lips on me I've ever tried. That's what it looks like on my hand, so it's quite cool toned. So I applied this first and basically concealed my lips. The formula is so nice. The packaging has a satisfying magnetic, luxurious click. And then I applied the Yves Saint Laurent Rouge Volupte Shine in the shade 79, which is Coral Plume. I had swatched this at the Sephora when I was in Waikiki. Oh God, whenever I go to like a larger Sephora in like a larger city, I get so excited. Like everything I've always wanted to do or swatch or see is available to me, and I love it. There's like Tom Ford, Charlotte Tilbury, Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, just everything. that I want to swatch that I can't get this. Anyway, I sound like so sad. So this is Coral Plume. Whenever I see these, I just remember me and Andrew times. Remember our heyday? And I remember we had gone to, I think, brunch or lunch somewhere. And after we were done eating, we both pulled out our YSL Rouge Philippe Shines, and it just brings back so many memories. Anyway, so I applied this on top of it because this one is quite warm and it looks a little orange when I apply it. So the combination of the two yields a kind of a yellowy nude that I typically enjoy. And that is it for the makeup. I am really liking all of these products. So nothing, I don't know. Just next clip, yeah? So was very excited about these Trader Joe's mini Brie. I followed the instructions exactly, and these are just, they're not looking like they're crispy, but they're not the color. I feel like maybe I'll toast them again or something. Okay, so put it on a toast and it is so much better. All the Brie is now oozed out, which sometimes I like that. So they are, as expected, delicious. However, they include some kind of sauce on here, like a berry sauce, which I can imagine tasting really good, like a cranberry raspberry situation. They did not include that. But now I'm thinking I want it to be croissant instead of puff pastry. And then my life would be complete, yeah?